As a form of continuation on the discussion on adverbs or expanding sentences through verb modification, we are going to proceed with the last structure of adverbs. So last time we had adverbs that look like single word expressions. We also had phrase adverbs or adverbial phrases. We now proceed to the last structure, which is the adverbial clause. Last time it was asked, what requirements are needed in order for a clause to be called a clause? A clause can only be called as one if, first requirement again, it's a group of words. Second requirement, that group of words contains a subject and a predicate. The last requirement, that group of words with a subject and a predicate must convey an idea which could either be complete or incomplete. If it's a complete idea found in that clause, we call that clause an independent clause. If the clause delivers an incomplete thought, the clause is dependent. When you talk of modifying clauses, what kind of clauses are they? Dependent or independent? Rain.
Di- Wait.
When you talk about modifying clauses, dependent or independent?
Dependent.
Correct. All modifying clauses are dependent clauses. Take note of that. They are all dependent clauses. And as a requirement, all dependent clauses begin with a subordinating conjunction. That's a rule. So let's try to have a few of them or a few of these examples. These examples will also be automatically for adverbial clauses. I'll put one on my phone on Spotlight video for a while. Okay, let's have this example. Okay, that's the sample. They came because they need me. What is the dependent clause in this sentence? Again, that's our sentence. They came because they need me. What is the dependent clause? For a while, I'll try to call someone. Leisha.
Because they need me.
Correct. Look at the answer given by Leisha. It began with the word because. Because a dependent clause, take note, a dependent clause begins with a subordinating conjunction. Marker is this way. I'll replace that. Okay. Okay. This is a subordinating conjunction. And then let's look at the subject of the subordinating conjunction. It is they. The verb is need. So this is the complete set. What is it trying to modify in this statement? I'd like to ask Alex.
Came.
Came, correct. This word tries to modify the, this clause tries to modify the word came. And came is a verb. As the verb has been modified, our modifier is obviously an adverb. In fact, by looking at this statement, you can tell you can ask yourselves, why did they come? The answer is because they need me. There's a reason. It did not go with what kind or what type. These are not the questions being answered. It went with why did they come? Why did the persons represented by them come? The answer is because they need me. Let's have another one. Oh my God, I'm becoming really emotional today. After this, we'll proceed with the checking of the FTs in the module. And I think time will be more than enough for that purpose. Okay, let's have another example. Here's your sentence. Yes, yes, you can, Chelsea. The dancers performed well even if they were not complete. Again, the dancers performed well even if they were not complete. Here's my question. What are the adverbs in this sentence? What are the adverbs in this sentence? I'd like to ask Thea.
Single word, sir, or the clause?
My question is, what are the adverbs?
Okay. Well and not.
Well is an adverb. Not is an adverb. Correct. But is that the only adverb in the sentence? What about Carlos? Can you find another adverb in the sentence?
Even if they were not complete.
Correct. You still have this one. It's presenting a condition. So you have three kinds of adverbs in this sentence. The first one is a single word adverb, which is well. This adverb modifies performed. And performed is a verb. The second one that's encircled is the word not. And the word not here describes what word? John Buntag.
They.
Are you sure? Not is an adverb, therefore it should not describe a pronoun.
I. What is the verb?
Adverbs do not only describe verbs, you also have adjectives or other adverbs. What's described by not? What's modified by not in the sentence?
Were.
Lorraine, what about you, Lorraine? Is it were?
Complete.
It's the word complete, correct. To what part of speech does the word complete belong, Lorraine?
Adjective.
It's an adjective. Again, as defined, adverbs may modify verbs. They may also modify adjectives. What about this clause? Even if they were not complete, what is it trying to modify? Juliana. Performed, correct. So this goes back to performed, which is a verb, making this an adverb as well. Because performed is a verb. So earlier, the question is, what are the adverbs in the sentence? The answers given by Thea are the single word adverbs, but there's one more, and that's this clause adverb, this adverbial clause. And take note, the adverbial clause begins with a subordinating conjunction. It's not right if you simply identify it from they until complete. We cannot do that because the clause is a dependent clause. And as a rule, dependent clauses begin with subordinating conjunctions. And if you look at your module, you'll have there the different locations in a sentence where you could put a dependent clause as an adverb. Now let us check the activities in your modules. I'll now remove the spotlight. Great. We begin with FT1. The goal in FT1 is to simply identify single word. Take note, single word adverbs. So no one should underline a phrase. If one number has more than one answer, let's just still give it 1 point. If there are 2 answers in that number, but you only identified only one, you won't get a score. It's a matter of whether you'll get everything right or you don't before you get a point in that number. For a while. There.